Hi everyone, so I wanted to show you the difference between execution listeners and how to use delegates, delegate expression and expression. So that's the point of this video, the difference between expression and delegate expression. So basically I have this simple process, a BPMN with a service task. The service task has implementation of delegate expression with mybean, and mybean is implemented here in a Spring Boot application. So when you implement mybean as a delegate expression, you have to have Java delegate implemented for your bean, and also in the app config I've added a bean method which produces a Spring Bean and gives you the mybean object. Apart from that, I also have two execution listeners. One is at the end of the event and event type. It's a script and it just printing from Groovy inline. And for that to work, you need to have the Groovy all dependency from Maven Central. Now mybean. So the other execution listener I'm using is a Java class. Again, I will give that as mybean, but since it's an execution listener, you have to implement another interface called execution listener, and that will actually implement the method called notify. So execution listener uses notify, Java delegate uses execute. So apart from that, for the main process, I have two more listeners. I've added two more listeners for the general process. The first is the delegate expression called mybean. So this will obviously have to implement execution listener. And also the other thing which you can use in an expression is called an expression. And that expression is mybean.doTask. So that doTask method is shown here. And for this, you obviously have to implement the execution listener method. Otherwise, since it's an execution listener. So now let's run all the listeners at once. So as you can see now from the output, there are 5 different outputs, and 2 of them are notify method. One is an execute method. So the execute method comes from the main Java class here. The execute method comes from the execution listener. Sorry, not execution listener, but the main Java class, which is here, delegate expression, mybean. Yes, so this is the one which uses the execute method. Then doTask method is implemented by the expression. Then notify method is used by delegate expression here, and also you have a Java class here, start, which may also use the notify method. So that's it. So you have 2 delegate expressions printing the notify method, and then the inline script, which is going to print the printing from Groovy inline.